Record. Hey guys, this is episode 5 of the Not Forgotten podcast / YouTube show. I'm Tyler, that's Jeff, and we are going to dive into another case today that neither one of us really knows anything about. So we're going to dive into Kyron Horman. Kyron Horman's Kyronhorman. So just to give you guys an idea real quick, let me go to Kyron, Horman, or is it H? I don't know. Maybe I think it's that. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
So this kid is very young. Hold on, let's see here. Let's see if this tells us his age.
Oh, no.
So he would be 13 now, but he's been, here we go. So he was born September 9th, 2002. Wow. So like a month. Well, he was born last month, but 2002. Wow. That would have been, when did the towers happen? Wasn't that September
9/11?
Yeah. September 9th, right? Or no, it was September 11th. So this would have been 2 days before 9/11, but in 2002, yes. Not 2001. But anyway, so he was born September 9th, 2002. He's been missing since January 4th, 2010. So he was 8 when he went missing. Well, I think he was actually 7. He would have turned 8 when he would have turned 8 that year. Okay. So anyway, he's 7, 8 years old. He's 7 years old technically when he went missing. So he's been missing since 2010. It's 2021, almost 2022. So it's been 11, almost 12 years.
Interesting.
Since he went missing. So, wow. If you think about it, it's crazy because that's 6 years after Maura Murray. That's how long she's been missing.
Yeah.
Not to make it about a different case, but that's just another one we were looking at. So anyway, he was missing since June 4th, 2010, and he went missing in Portland, Oregon. So, obviously he's male. All right, he's a little kid. Pretty sad. So let's kind of dive into this. So like I said, neither one of us knows really anything about this, but I did about a 20-minute, maybe 15-minute little research session just to give us some stuff to kind of look at. And I'll show you the different stuff I pulled. And then you can kind of tell me if you want to look at some stuff or what we want to do. But one of them is this YouTube video maybe we could watch. It's
these use
there we go. It's from this news station here, but it's about 10 minutes long, but it kind of gives a brief little introduction.
Check it out.
And then what else I got here is I got the wiki, just a Wikipedia of kind of the whole thing. And then I have what else do I got here? I have the Google Maps of his school where he went missing. This is the last place he was technically seen.
Okay.
Right here.
There's a lot of woods around there.
That's his school, Skyline. I think it's called Skyline.
Any
Skyline Elementary.
School?
Yeah, technically. And then let's see what else I got. I got this article from the same news station that I think that video I actually have is from. I think they're the same news station, but this kind of goes in some more stuff on it. I was reading some stuff on it that I thought was interesting. And the last thing I have is this this little article here. And I think I don't know who wrote this. But it was written in 2019, and it's a pretty good article. It kind of gives a brief summary and some pictures and stuff. So this is his biological mother. This is him, obviously. This is his biological father, and this is his stepmom, who becomes very important in this case. Okay. And I think that must be a baby they might have had together. Yeah, for sure. It's a baby they had together, and I don't know who this guy was. Maybe obviously a relative of some kind. So anyway, you want to start with watching a few minutes of this video real quick?
Yeah, let's check it out.
Cars may look identical, but with Carfax, you'll see how a car's history.
This is obviously an old video, since it looks like it was shot on a toaster. Years ago.
Kyle came to school this morning. Kyron, came to school this morning. He's 7 years old with his stepmom for the science fair. He was wearing this outfit.
Well, Steph, the sheriff's department launched a massive search within an hour of learning that Kyron was missing.
The FBI is also on scene.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Kyron, we're gonna bring you home, buddy. Nothing is more important to your family, to your friends, to us. So.
Police are not releasing a lot of details except to say the case is now a criminal
That must be a
investigation.
school.
I was fully expecting them to just slap the cuffs on her.
That's his mom. That's his stepmom.
They're gonna do it any second. They're gonna take her away. They're gonna do it. Here we go. This is gonna happen. And it doesn't work that way.
That's the day. This is the day he went missing.
If you have seen Kyron or have any information you think may be beneficial, please call Portland Police.
Kyron was due home off the school bus at 3:45. He did not get off the bus.
And have they found any sign of him at all?
No, not that I've heard of any sign of him at this point.
7-year-old Kyron Horman was last seen after his stepmother, Terry Horman,
There's his picture.
drove him to school for one of the biggest days of the year, the school science fair.
The second grader at Skyline Elementary had worked hard on his project for the science fair.
This is a picture she took of the second grader with his project, the red-eyed tree frog.
After touring exhibits together, they say goodbye in the school hallway. She leaves for home. Kyron heads toward his classroom.
I'm gonna pause it for just a quick.
Okay, so who was there? His real mom or his stepmom?
Well, here, let me give you. Why don't you ask for access to my computer real quick, just in case you want to pause it. His real mom or stepmom, what, that dropped him off?
Yeah, who was he at the science fair with?
So from the way I understand it, his stepmom, which I think her name is Terry, she dropped him off at the science fair and stayed there during the science fair, from what I understand. And then her story is she left and saw him walk into his class. And the other story is he never made it to class. He was marked absent that day.
So the teacher's never seen him in class then?
The teacher said he never made it to class. He was marked absent that day. And Terry, who was the last one to see him, said she seen him go to class down the hall. To walk. She didn't say she seen him go into the actual classroom, but she seen him walk down the hall towards class.
Okay.
All right.
It's the last time anyone remembers seeing him.
Terry Horman posts photos of Kyron from the science fair on her Facebook page.
Kyron doesn't get off the school bus. His stepmom calls the school and learns the teacher had marked him absent.
This is devastating for the family, as you might guess, and for anybody that knows him. We just want to make sure he gets home safe.
By 9 o'clock, as we watched search teams wade through high grassy fields, Kyron had been missing more than 13.
It's weird too, because I think I heard a tiny bit about this case, but it says, I just heard him say, like, he didn't get off the bus, so the stepmom actually called the cops pretty quick once she figured out something was not right, you know?
Yeah, was it her that called? Is that what they just said?
I think that's what they just said. His stepmom called the police.
Okay, I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's odd. If you're gonna point the finger at her, that's something to take into consideration.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
18 hours.
Police declared the area a major crime scene. By morning, the military and crews on the ground joined the search.
He's not the kind of child that would just go out of school and just go, searching or wandering around. He's just a very timid, sweet boy.
Okay.
Hey, are you guys ready?
All right, let me know. Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Jason Gates. I'm a captain with the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office, and I'm the incident commander.
In addition to the teams in the sky and on the ground, we're told about 50 detectives are also working the case.
The focus, the area around the school.
We're moving forward under the premise that we're looking for a living Kyron Horman.
On this rainy Sunday, police interviewed parents and children at Skyline School.
They're just trying to talk the kids through and just see if they can pick up any grains of information that they can to help.
I don't know how long he was missing before they reported him. I didn't catch that if she said it. Because I know for like an adult, it's so many hours, but for a kid, I think you can report him missing a lot sooner.
Who reported him missing? Because there was where the stepmom called the police right away.
Yeah, I think that's probably when he was reported
Okay.
missing. It must have been. I don't know if maybe she went to go pick him up from school. Is that what it was saying? And he didn't.
No, he didn't get
wasn't
off the
there.
bus.
He didn't get off the bus at this bus stop. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, and I remember reading that now. Actually, that you say that.
Just to help.
The search turned into a massive community effort. From homemade signs to food donations, those who couldn't search did what they could to help.
Then on Friday,
Yeah, it said that she called the school because he didn't get off the bus. The school told the stepmom that he was marked absent that day. Then she called the police.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
1 week after Kyron's disappearance, his family speaks publicly for the first time.
That's his dad and his
Kyron, we
stepmom
miss
right
you.
there in the front.
We love you, and we need you home right now.
Search crews made their strongest push yet, with hundreds of volunteers from around the state joining the search for Kyron Horman.
We need a clue. We need that aha.
This is the kind of terrain searchers are having to comb through: tall grasses, dense vegetation, and steep slopes. It makes for a slow and tedious process.
The pressure to turn up something intense, as so far each day has ended with little to report.
It's always frustrating, when we're not finding anything, especially when we have such high hopes.
Investigators suspended the search and rescue. It's become clear Kyron is not simply lost.
Would he just go on a hike at the end of the year? That doesn't seem like something he would do.
Not a 7-year-old.
Detectives announced this has become a criminal investigation. And the focus?
Where is she and why is she not speaking?
We wanted to speak out as the natural parents for Kyron.
Behind the scenes, we'd later learn suspicions were mounting.
That's the stepmom right there.
Had come apart.
Terry was on a whole nother.
So somewhere in the search, she started getting weird. She started getting weird where she was, she started getting weird about it. Maybe she wasn't as, invested mentally as she should have been, or maybe she just got over it quicker than she should have. But she got weird during the search somehow, and then somewhere down that line, they started suspecting her for some reason.
Okay.
But this is the stepmom right here in the car.
Other playing field than we were. It was 3 against 1, and she was not looking out for Kyron. She was not interested in helping in any way.
Weeks after Kyron disappeared, police are handing out a questionnaire to parents and students at Skyline School,
asking people if they'd seen the stepmom or the family's white truck in the area the day the boy disappeared.
Investigators say they've talked with the majority of parents and staffers, but there's still people they want to interview.
People with ADHD save 10 hours studying with this Chrome extension. But no, by all means.
Then,
hello, I'm Tracy Barrett.
And I'm Joe Donlin.
the unexpected.
Kyron Horman investigation takes another turn. Now a reliable source tells News Channel 8 officers were prepared to arrest stepmom Terry Horman for hiring a hitman to kill her husband.
Kane Horman filed for divorce, sought a restraining order against Terry Horman, and accused her of trying to hire a hitman to murder him.
So somewhere down the line here, Terry, or the husband of Terry, which would have been Kyron's dad, got some kind of suspicion or some kind of information that Terry was trying to hire a hitman to kill him, and that they are getting a divorce.
Oh, that's not a good sign. Almost makes me wonder if she's going to hire somebody to do that. Why wouldn't she hire somebody to grab this kid? And if she already knew all the details of what time everything else could be, I mean, it'd be pretty easy if, the science fair, let's say it's at 10. Yeah, science fair, you wait in the hallway, and then when I leave, you snatch them. I'm not saying that that's what happened, but it'd be pretty easy to do that, really, if she's already willing to hire hitmans to kill her ex-husband or husband or whatever.
Right. All right, it's only 3 minutes long, so let's finish this up real quick.
Right.
It was based on a lot of information that was provided, so it wasn't a sudden, say, reactionary type of decision that was made.
At that same news conference, Kyron's dad revealed another behind-the-scenes bombshell about Terry.
I think everyone knows the fact that she's taken her two polygraphs. She has not passed those 2 polygraphs.
Terry Horman hired a defense lawyer and moved to her parents' home in Roseburg.
Now again, Terry Horman has not been named a person of interest or a suspect in this case.
Terry Horman has never spoken to the media, but in court documents calls Kane's allegations vicious and calculated to inflame and poison public opinion against her.
Court papers from the divorce revealed Terry Horman had been sexting with another man after Kyron disappeared.
She's got some guts. I'll give her that.
That's his
Now's
mom right there.
Not a good time to be doing stuff like that, but I guess I don't expect anything less.
Edie, are you cooperating with investigators?
By late summer, a grand jury started hearing sworn testimony from Terry Horman's friends. No charges were filed.
Is she bound to testify, or could she say no?
She was subpoenaed.
I look at people's
That's
actions.
Terry's
and the
friend, I'm
actions
pretty
I
sure, right
see
there.
Don't reinforce the fact that they're completely innocent. And whether it's related to Kyron or not, something's being hidden.
2 years after the boy's disappearance, Kyron's biological mother filed a civil lawsuit against Terry Horman, later dropped.
The time has come for Terry to take responsibility for what she has done and to tell me and my family where Kyron is and how he got there.
Terry Horman tried to change her name and appeared on the witness stand before a judge denied the request.
Kyron Horman is missing. He needs to be found. I love my son. I want him home more than anything.
Terry, what's your reaction to the judge denying this name change?
Hi, Kyle. No, thank you.
Horman, who now lives in California, has maintained her innocence, appearing on national TV and magazines.
She talks about Kyron's disappearance and also what she calls a bogus murder-for-hire plot to kill her husband.
I don't believe she'll ever be truly honest about what happened. I think even when we find Kyron, she will not reveal what happened that day.
But the search for him is still going strong.
Today, another under-the-radar search today for Kyron Horman. Police searched the woods, the water, and multiple properties over the years, but haven't found anything.
For comment, the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office said, quote, the investigation is continuing, end quote.
They've also released age-progressed photos of what Kyron would look like now as a teenager.
Kyron is a sweet little boy that just wanted to live his life and to go camping and fishing and be a kid, and he got that taken from him.
So anyway, what do you think about that?
That is something.
Yeah.
Why? I'm just trying to find out, like, why would the stepmom want him dead or missing, you know?
Yeah, I can't really, I mean, we don't know a lot about it. Maybe there's more to it than we know at this moment, but the only thing that kind of seems strange to me is she was sexting or texting, whatever, with some other guy or something. I don't know if she thought that, but it's not even her kid. That's their step kid. So like, even if they were going to split up or anything weird like that, that he would, I mean, that wouldn't really, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's not like it was her. I don't know. I don't know if that would have anything to do with it or not, or even make sense, but, so that lady who was, let me find out where I was at. That lady who was testifying with Terry, or who was in that court scene there with Terry. I don't know if she ended up, I think she did end up testifying, but her name was Dee Dee right here. This is Terry's friend.
Okay.
So I'm gonna read through this really quick, just this little part here, because it's kind of interesting. So police began to focus in on Terry's friends, namely Dee Dee, this lady, to find out if they could provide any further information on Kyron's disappearance. Police were heavily investigating Terry. They never officially named her as a suspect. I don't know if she was ever a person of interest, you know, I'm sure she probably was. I would imagine she would have been a person of interest, probably not a suspect yet, but definitely a person of interest, I would think. After Terry was served with a restraining order by Kane. So I think Kane is, I think that's Kyron's dad.
Okay.
Because Dee Dee or Terry was served a restraining order because she hired the hitman or whatever.
Yeah.
So Dee Dee, this friend, moved in with Terry for 11 days in mid-July. So they searched Dee Dee's home, questioned her about her movements on the day Kyron. So the police questioned this Dee Dee lady on everything she did the day that Kyron disappeared.
Yep.
And she informed police that she had been doing gardening work at home the whole day. However, contrary to her story, the homeowner came forward informing police that Dee Dee had abruptly left at 11:30 a.m. So that's interesting, and didn't return until 1 p.m. Okay, so they also tried to call Dee Dee during that time, but got no answer. This raised suspicion with police. So it was basically 90 minutes she was unaccounted for.
Why did she try to lie about it?
I don't know. And so just to add on to that, something kind of strange. Let me find it. Maybe it's down here. It might not be on this. It might be on a different thing I was reading that I do have pulled up, but I think it was on this. Okay, so the truck. There's something here called the truck. So on August 11th, I'm assuming so he went missing in June. So June, July, August. So this would have been 2 months. So on August 11th, the police held a press conference, which they were talking about information regarding this 2000 or this Ford F-250 pickup truck. This is what Terry was driving during the day that Kyron disappeared, was this pickup truck, right?
Okay.
So the 2 witnesses came forward, said that they had seen another adult sitting in the truck with Terry. And this would have been on the day. This would have been on the day that Kyron went missing. So they were thinking maybe this could have been Dee Dee. It says thinking perhaps the individual could have been Dee Dee. I'm assuming that the police maybe thought that.
I'd like to know what time that science fair ended.
Yeah, we'll look at that in a second. So they handed out flyers with pictures of Terry and Dee Dee, the truck, asking if anyone with information, please come forward. So this was between 9:45 a.m. and 1 p.m. They were interested in that time slot because that's when Dee Dee was unaccounted for. But they weren't just interested in just Dee Dee. They wanted descriptions of any adults that would have been in that truck. And then so on this part though, it says on August 18th, however, which would have been 7 days after this press conference talking about this truck, it was reported by the Portland news station that investigators had reason to believe it may have not been Dee Dee for some reason. So I don't know if that was just a false alarm or what, but originally they thought that maybe this was her in the truck with Terry. But regardless, somebody was in this truck with Terry. Now, I don't know if this wiki. So, okay, Desiree Young. His mom's name is Desiree. His dad's name is Kane. There's some disappearance. Okay, so Terry stated that she left the school at around 8:45 a.m. So the science fair probably started at 7:30 or 8 o'clock and was 45 minutes long, maybe an hour long. So 10:45 a.m. that's when she last remembered seeing Kyron walking down the hall to his first class. However, he was never even seen in his first class and was marked absent that day. Terry's statements to police indicate that after leaving the school at 8:45, she ran errands at 2 different Fred Meyer grocery stores until about 10:10 a.m. Between then and 11:39 a.m., which could have been when her truck was seen, in that time slot. She stated that she was driving her daughter around town. But her daughter is the baby, so that's not the other adult in the car, because it said she was driving her daughter around town in an attempt to use the motion of the vehicle to soothe her earache. I never heard of such a thing, but that's obviously something. Terry said that she went to the local gym, worked out, and then she arrived home and posted photos of Kyron at the science fair on Facebook because the picture she took. After 3:30 p.m., Terry and her husband Kane walked with their daughter to the bus stop to meet Kyron, and then obviously he wasn't there.
And her husband, huh? Okay.
And her husband, yep. But he didn't take him to school with her. He wasn't there. He had something going on. Right. He had something going on and couldn't go. But I've seen something somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. It might have been on this one here. Yeah. Multiple witnesses allegedly saw Kyron Horman leave school with his stepmom. So some witnesses were saying she didn't leave and he went down the hall to class. She left with him. That's what some witnesses are saying. So several people saw Kyron leaving Skyline School with his stepmother the morning he disappeared, according to a newly released book. Who released this book? I don't know who released this book, but So I don't know how reliable this is, but this is just something interesting.
I'd like to know what the witness, who was the witnesses, you know, was it like the attendant at school, or just people seen them like on parking lot? Like who seen them? Like just somebody jogging, or like I'd like to know how credible they are.
Right.
know?
See, now this was published on May 26, 2020. So this is only a year old. So this is fairly new. You know what I mean? So it says the witness saw Kyron walk through the school parking lot with Terry and her infant daughter, which would have been the daughter she said she was driving around to try to get the earache. But they got the people right, unless they just guessed or knew some of the case to make that up. But I mean, they got the people right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, again, I don't know who these witnesses are, and we might be able to look into it and find out more. But so that's why I pulled this one up, because I just thought that was interesting. And then the only other thing I had was just this thing of his school. I also was trying to Google out where he lived, because I was just curious on how long of a drive it was. I don't know why, but I couldn't find his address or where he used to live or anything like that. If it might be out there, but I couldn't find it. So
yeah, I wish we could find out where he lived. I'm just taking a look at this map here.
This is Portland, Oregon, by the way. Well, that on our thing here, it says the school opens at 8 a.m. So if that's been that way, I don't know if it's been that way for the same, 10 years, but the science fair must have been before school started. It was on a school day, which is strange. Usually that type of stuff I thought was on like weekends and stuff. So that's kind of odd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd like to know where they live. There's a big river right there.
Yeah. So I was also trying to look into some different theories and stuff on what people thought might have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Some people think that maybe he did walk down the hall to his first class, and then somebody who he kind of knew a little bit, Kyron kind of knew, maybe told him that they were there to pick him up for some reason, and then, did something bad to him.
It's possible.
Another thing too, I think another theory I seen was she might have hired somebody to pick him up, like she was going to hire somebody to have her husband killed, but I don't know what her motive would have been behind that, unless we're missing something. I mean, what's the point? Who just randomly decides they want to kill a little kid? That's obviously there's sickles out there, but for like somebody who he's related, like a stepmom, that seems odd.
I'd like to know when she got busted for trying to hire the hitman to kill her husband. Was this before he came up missing, after he came up missing, right around the same time?
After.
How far after?
And this isn't this hitman thing isn't necessarily 100% true. Maybe it could have been something that was just made up for some reason against her because they were getting a divorce. Because I don't think she wasn't ever arrested for that. See, allegedly tried to hire a hitman. So 1 month after the disappearance of Kyron, police reportedly said a landscaper came forward and told them that Terry tried to hire him to kill her husband. So their landscaper or a landscaper. And this would have been a month. So a month after he went missing, roughly.
Police report said that the landscaper told them, tried to hire him to kill her husband. Man, I don't know.
And I don't know why she would.
Why would you hire a landscaper? That's like, it's like trying to hire the pizza man to kill somebody or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he was fresh out of prison. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
The landscaper.
Sources close to the investigation told the newspaper that police alerted Horman to the allegation on June 26. Well, that was like not even a month, which they said is what prompted him to move out of the family home. Yeah, so he moved out on like at the end of the month and took his daughter with him. So, now, so this is what's kind of interesting. So I don't really see at the moment, because we don't know everything, I don't think, but I don't see motivation for her to want to do something awful to Kyron. But I do see motivation on his side to want to pin it on her, or you know what I mean, or accuse her of it. Because if he found out some information like this and moved out and took the daughter, and then down here it says something she told like so she called 911 when she found out he took the daughter, and something about child custody call. So she was like, he took the kid, that's my kid, blah blah blah. So maybe he's trying to make her look crazy too, and make it look like she did something awful to, for custody for the other kid. I don't know. I'm just speculating like crazy, but I'm just trying to think what would be the motivation for Terry to want to harm the kid, harm.
And it's not even her kid, right?
That's not even hers.
And the little kid that he took was her daughter, the step.
I think it was their daughter together. They had the daughter together while they were married. I don't know how long they were married for. How long is it Kane and Terry married? I guess that was supposed to be how long were. The couple married in April of 2007. So they were married for 3 years during this time that Kyron went missing. That doesn't necessarily mean they weren't together for longer than that, but that's when they were married. So, I mean, it wasn't like they were only married for 6 months or something. Weird. Very weird.
What a weird case.
Yeah.
And there probably isn't much evidence or anything like that of anything. Is there any leads or anything that the cops are on, just besides they think it may be her, but they haven't been able to charge her?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, I mean, they definitely haven't charged her. She's been on like shows, like shows, like not Dr. Phil, but that type of stuff. She's been on shows like that. Like,
no, actually, I think she was on Dr. Phil.
Was she on Dr. Phil? Yeah. So she's been on some shows. So, I mean, she definitely wasn't charged with anything. She's trying to make it like, this is all false and they're trying to make her look bad and this and that, but I don't know, man. It's weird. It's definitely the last one who's seen him. So that's what's strange.
Can you find out the last time she was on Dr. Phil or anything? See if you can find out the last time she was on there.
I think it was relatively recent because she looked a little bit older. When was Terry on? On Doc? Was it Doc McStuffins? I don't think she was on Doc McStuffins. Dr. Phil. 2016. Well, that's when it was posted to YouTube. Yeah, 2016.
And it came up missing when?
2010. So 6 years.
So 6 years later, she's still trying, even though she's not even charged with nothing, and it's gone cold, for kind of. She's still on Dr. Phil trying to say she didn't do it.
Yeah, I don't know if Dr. Phil invited her and she invited herself. Yeah. Defends herself on Dr. Phil. So I don't know, maybe we should do another episode where we check out this Dr. Phil video and look a little bit deeper into it.
Maybe we can find some police reports and stuff.
Yeah, just get a little bit more information because we're kind of we're looking at really limited information right now. We're just looking at basically the bare bones, just timeline of what may have happened. His body was not found, so yeah, no proof that the little boy's ever been found. But yeah, that's sad. That's sad. If anybody has kids, that's pretty awful for something like that to happen to your kid.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Why anybody would even mess with the kid,
Yeah.
Unless it was somebody that had, unless it was somebody that had nothing to do or no idea about who the parents were, anything about their divorce or anything. He was just trying to kidnap a kid that day.
Right. Yeah.
But
it's possible.
It's possible, man.
In that video, they were saying something about him just walking off and going for a hike or something. 7-year-olds don't just leave school and go for hikes. They don't do that.
Especially when he knows he's supposed to be getting on the bus or going to school and stuff.
And I read something else.
He's scared to get in trouble.
Yeah, and I read something else that his personality was kind of like timid, and he was a little bit more of a shy kid. He wasn't like he's not like, oh, let's go for a walk in the woods. And no.
Well, they would have found him too.
You would, yeah, right.
Eventually,
right. Yes, it looks like they had a pretty aggressive search team. So, anyway, I think that's probably a good place to kind of settle on this one. But that's definitely one we should definitely dive into a little more. This was actually a request from somebody in our comments. Sorry, I don't know your name. I don't remember what it was, but thanks for the request. It's definitely something we should look more into and definitely shed some more light on. And hopefully the more we get more viewers and more subscribers, and we can put some more attention on it and keep diving into it and checking things out with it. I never really even heard of it until I think I may have briefly heard about it, but I mean like for seconds. I mean, I didn't hear about it really at all until this person on our comments mentioned it. So
there was a show on TV, not the one that we just watched, but another one that was, I don't even know what show it was now, but they were going through this case too. And they were thinking about, I think they were thinking about the river or something too. There was something to do with the river, but.
Well, if anybody who knows this case is watching this and has any comments or anything else we should watch, you can link something down we should watch, or even link us to a page that we can look at for information we don't have, and just kind of try to help us direct us in the right course. Because all we're doing is just, Googling stuff and grabbing links that look good. So if anybody has the information or knows anything, definitely shoot it in the comments. I'm going to see, let's put this up too real quick. Did I spell his name right? Kyron. It must be Kyron. That must be how you say it. Kyron. Here's a number, 1-800 the lost. I guess that's a number you can call. I was just seeing if there's a better one. He's from Portland, Oregon, so I'm sure like Portland Police Department or something like that. Oh, here you go. Sheriff's line right here, 503-261-2847. This looks like an age progression they're trying to kind of do. Kyron was wearing a black CSI t-shirt. That's ironic in a very sad way. Black cargo pants,
white socks.
Yeah, Skechers, orange trim. June 4th, 2010. Very sad. I have a son. I have a couple sons, and yeah, that would tear me up. I wouldn't, if I even suspected that somebody did something, I'd probably be going to prison. Somebody be in trouble. So all right. Anything else?
No, I think that's it for now.
All right, guys. Like I said, like the video, that would help us a lot. Leave some comments down for anything we might have missed. Give us some links, anything to kind of spread the news. If you have any other cases you want us to check out, throw them in the comments too. I'm Tyler. That's Jeff. This is the Not Forgotten podcast / YouTube video. We'll see you later.